When is this job market going to turn around? We hear some great things and some not great things happening in the job market, but it feels like things are kind of better, right? When can we start to see that change? And what can we expect in the beginning of this year? My name is Jason Roberts. I'm a recruiter. I've been a recruiter for 25 years. And I want to share with you what I see happening in the next 3 months. It's going to turn around your job search. Before we get started, let me ask you a big favor. Do all those YouTube things, like this, hit subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can see content like this whenever it's available. All right, let's dive into exactly what's happening in our job market. So you might recall that we had a pretty booming market leading up to the pandemic. We had unemployment at the lowest point that it had been in. We were doing pretty damn good. We really didn't have anything to complain about. And then we had the pandemic, and like that, bunch of jobs evaporated. And we were worried this was going to last a while until the great resurgence happened. And when all this pent up demand showed up, and in 2022, we had a boom in hiring, and there was a ton of hiring in 2022. So we had more hiring than we knew what to do with. And we had a bit of a binge that happened. And then it feels like we're on this roller coaster ride. So we're down in the dumps, then we're up as high as we can go. And right now I feel like we're down in the dumps again. And that's because no one's leaving their jobs. A bunch of people got brand new jobs in 2022, and people tend to stay in their new jobs for how long? 2 years. They stay for 2 years. So remember that great resignation period? People aren't leaving those jobs from the great resignation. They're still there. Now, until they leave those jobs, there won't be as much open. There won't be as much traffic available for us and places for us to apply for different jobs. There's no churn in the process. We have a logjam that's happening right now. Now, that logjam should have naturally started releasing in the fall of 2024, but it didn't at first. It didn't when I thought it should have. People were waiting for the election. They were waiting on pins and needles. And I think either way, no matter what happened in the election, that we would have seen a release. But man, it feels like business is booming right now. Everybody's thrilled. The market's going nuts. Bitcoin's $1 bazillion. Everybody's feeling like we are in for a golden age for business at the moment. And as a result, they're starting to hire. I work in the recruiting business, and we're starting to see contracts loosen up. And some contracts that normally should take 6 or 8 months even, those contracts are showing up and we're done in 6 weeks. It's wild how fast things are moving. There's definitely some pent up stuff, some places where people who weren't moving are still not moving. There's still stuff like that, but we're seeing it loosen up here. We're seeing things move more than we have in the past. And I think that's indicative of the entire market getting ready to hire. And what I think is happening is we're like a coiled spring. There's more and more pressure on this coil, and eventually it releases, and we're going to see the job market open up in a way that we haven't seen since 2022. That's my hope. The other thing that could happen is that we could see a gradual release of jobs. That's more likely to happen. And we'll see a gradual release of jobs. Remember, if you watch a logjam, if you look at that, it starts with one job, one log loosening, then another one, then all of them start to release one by one, right? That's how this goes. That's what's happening in our economy right now. So we're starting to see that loosen up right now, but we had that election, but then over the holidays, who does a lot in the holidays? So the holidays were dead, but now we're in January. January is interesting. January is where everybody's budgets get loosened up. They get brand new budgets. That happens mid-January when budgets show up, especially for like the government organizations, some other things, right? So you'll see some new budget available and new jobs start to open up as a result. You'll see more churn come from the people who are in those jobs where they're all locked up. They're willing to start moving. My prediction is that we really start seeing movement in the market, people leaving their jobs for other jobs, shifting around, doing different things. That really kicks in March of 2025. And it really hits full force in April and May. Some of the people that are leaving jobs, they're waiting for their bonuses to pay out. Before they go to their next thing. There's some pent up things. So what I think happens here is March, April, we start to see a return to normal when it comes to jobs. And on the upside, we could see a release of this coiled spring, and we see a boom in available jobs at that point. I don't know which one it's going to be, but what I think is going to happen is the end of Q1, beginning of Q2 for 2025, we're going to see the job market return. And that's your best chance of finding a new job, is when that job market returns, end of 2024, beginning of 2025. So what do you do in the meantime while you're waiting for this to happen? Well, you don't stop your search. I mean, you continue searching. It's not saying that nothing's going to happen between now and then. It's just that it's kind of where we are right now. And we're going to keep being where we are until this movement that I think is coming in the market. So what you do is what you're doing. Now, I would take the chance to revitalize my resume if I were you. If you have not updated to a modern resume template that's simple, that gets past an ATS, I'm going to leave you my template here. You can click it right there, and you can click on that template. And then when you're applying for jobs, you're apply to fewer jobs. That's one of my big tenets. Got another video on this whole thing, but don't apply to so many freaking jobs. So apply to fewer jobs and customize your resume for each job. AI can help you. I've got another video that helps with that, and a pre-built guide on that has all of my prompts on how to use AI for free to make that happen. And that thing is right here. So you can go right here and get that guide that has my prompts. You can just copy and paste into ChatGPT so it can customize your resumes for you. Giving you all the free stuff today, apparently. That's the day I'm having. All right. So the next thing that you do is you make sure that you're prepped for interviews. You know exactly who you're going after. You find the hiring manager in the most effective way. You can't rely on other people getting to you. Remember, this is a job market where we've got 100, 200 people applying for every job. So it's on you to do the follow-up. It's on you to maintain agency. It's on you to be the driver. So you've got to do that. That's the role that you're in. That's the way job search works today, is that you have to be the driver. You have to maintain agency. You have to be the owner of this thing. So it's on you. That's how things have changed for you in this time around. All right. I really want to hear what you think. See if I'm completely wrong or that logic tracks for you. Put it right here in the comments.